I got a call at probably like 4:30 in the morning from his mother. She had heard this story about an accident that happened at this intersection, and she was trying to track where Matt was, and according to his phone, he was there. So I hop in my car immediately. I drive to the intersection. This was, at Rock Prairie and Wellburn. The police cars were still there. They had already had the car that hit him and the motorcycle loaded up on a tow truck. And they told me what happened, and it was devastating. It was on my birthday. So we were supposed to play disc golf and just have fun together on my birthday, but it didn't happen.
Michael Moreno turned 61 the day his son died, Friday, March 24th, 2023. Matt was a month from his 22nd birthday.
There's no words to describe what it's like to lose somebody, especially in a shocking, unanticipated way like that. Like he had so much potential, he was healthy, he was strong, everything was going so well, and then he's gone. One thing that I'll say, I don't want to stop crying. I don't want to get over it. I'm not even trying to get over it. I'm trying to navigate my way through life with it, and I'm trying to come up with ways that I can kind of keep him with me. I'm Michael Moreno. My PhD is in biomedical engineering. I serve as Director of Innovation for EnMed, the School of Engineering Medicine that's located down in Houston.
One of the founders of EnMed, Moreno has 9 patents of his own for medical tech inventions, including one he earned before he got his PhD. Being an inventor is just one of his many interests. Moreno has worked as an Air Force electrician, taught high school physics and college philosophy, and worked at a homeless shelter. He has coached youth sports since he was in high school, written and produced music, taught guitar lessons, and played guitar in a succession of bar bands. Their band is called Bedrock. The Bed stands for Bioengineering Division.
Pleased to meet you. Hope guess my name.
So I found ways to keep those hobbies of sports and music in my life.
5 times, Moreno took students to Rwanda to repair used medical equipment that had been donated from richer nations and to teach Rwandans how to fix the devices themselves. Moreno has won numerous awards for research and teaching.
When you give him a course to teach, right, he looks at the learning outcomes, he looks at the content, and he succeeds at it. I mean, he designs the course to perfectly meet what's needed, and it's just a fantastic educator. I mean, incredibly professional.
As a freshman, Shannon Wilson took her first engineering course from Moreno. As a sophomore, she started working in his lab. She earned her PhD at A&M in 2024. Moreno advised her.
It was fairly easy for me to decide that I wanted to stay in the lab, in Dr. Moreno's lab. He really cared about us as people, and he cared about our futures. Just felt very collaborative. It was just very friendly. Everyone worked together. The whole lab felt like a family. One of the things that all of us in his lab kind of endearingly smile at is that Dr. Moreno is really not good at saying no to things, to new opportunities. That definitely applied as the pandemic hit, and a few of us volunteered.
There were shortages of all kinds of things. The number of different things that we created that I wouldn't claim are inventing something new. It's actually addressing a problem that there's a lack of a supply of. We designed a kind of a pretty cool 3D printable diffuser, and we spread that out to where any clinical partner could have that. And I know that Methodist used at least 1,000 of those from A&M.
Moreno's role in the EnMed origin story dates to 2014, just 5 years after he had earned his PhD from Texas A&M.
He was really branching out his research beyond College Station.
I started working with some researchers down the Research Institute at Houston Methodist, and we were working on a DARPA-funded project. And the project was designed to develop this technology that was going to allow osteoregeneration, so allow bone to regenerate. And fortunately, there was a scenario where the solution wasn't perfect, but the animal was actually walking pretty well. And so DARPA put a lot more money into this, and it kind of took it to the next level. As I suddenly get this message, and Methodist actually wanted to hire me. And I went and did a presentation, but my presentation basically said, you know, $1 million isn't enough for what you guys all want to do. Moreover, I think it would be better if you just leave me at A&M and let's collaborate. Let's work together. And they liked the idea, actually, whenever I explained some of the resources that we have here.
In 2015, Moreno opened the Orthopedic Biomechanics Research Lab at Houston Methodist. By then, the untenured assistant professor was meeting with top Texas A&M officials about a broader collaboration. As EnMed was developed, Moreno became the primary architect of the engineering curriculum.
It's very responsible and creative. I knew the innovation side of EnMed would definitely get where it needed to go with him in charge of it.
When you grow up poor, you don't know it. I had no idea, so I grew up happy. I did not grow up saying, oh, I'm going to be an engineer. You know, I evolved kind of into that. But when I look back on my youth, I clearly had that personality type because I started getting interested in music in high school, and I didn't have a lot of money. I built my own guitar effects pedals. I got a job at this fast food place, and it was called Digits. I went to Radio Shack and started looking around and basically built an intercom system for this little fast food restaurant where they had a drive-through now. I was very interested in astronomy, went to Florida International, did my degree in physics, had to do a senior project with somebody. They connected me with an engineer, and that's when my life changed. And that engineer was Jimmy Moore, who ended up being a faculty here at A&M. He ended up hiring me as a research engineer and then brought me with him here. Starting college, you know, I met my first wife, and, you know, basically we had 2 kids together, Matt and Erica. And Erica's a few years older than Matt. In Miami Beach, that's a party place. Not the best place to raise kids, frankly. We all came here to College Station together. The cool thing for both my kids is, again, not having to move around too much. And so the relationships that they made, you know, from elementary school, middle school, high school on, you know, they had, you know, de facto brothers and sisters. Families were interacting.
Moreno coached Erica and Matt in youth soccer. He also coached Matt in Little League baseball, basketball, and foremost, football. He had 8 to 10-year-olds learning dozens of different plays. At his lab, he had Matt and the other players help him study the biomechanics of quarterbacking.
There was a time here in College Station where I could go eat at a restaurant and somebody comes in, hey, Coach Moreno, hey, how you doing? Hey, Dr. Moreno, hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. Hey, are you the guy that played in that bar the other night in the band? Oh, that was awesome. When Matt passed away, you know, all those people were still around. And so we got so much support from them.
The morning it happened, it was on Mike's birthday.
My first response was to kind of yell out.
You know, you get an email and you start reading that. It's like, I knew the kid, right? He played with my kids. He came over.
It was really just knowing so intensely what Dr. Moreno was feeling.
Amazing wake. You know, out the door, down the street, having the line to get in, just the outpouring of support. I don't know how someone responds to such a tragedy. You want to do something, right?
So this is the Matthew Anthony Moreno Memorial. It was his friends that helped me build this. Talking about some of the guys that I coached in football, helping me move stone and gravel. I wanted everybody to be able to come out here and spend time with him. So, you know, I talked to his friends about it. I wanted the 8-foot fence because since this is on my property, I wanted them to know that when they came out here, there's this sense of privacy here. You're here with Matt. I love the landscaping that Kara did out here. It's beautiful. My wife did all of the flowers. I love that picture that has him and his sister and Asher, his young brother, who's only 6 years old. It's not just mourning his loss. I love him. I want to keep his spirit with me, and so did his friends. We formed a foundation in his name, and Gave the first award last year to one of the Bryan Viking football players. And we called it the Steady in All Roles Award. It was because he always would do whatever the team needed. I'm just grateful that I've been able to do this. And I could not have done it without all of the support that we got, whether it was my friends, his sister's friends, his mother's friends, his friends, my colleagues. It's been amazing.